Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Little Kitchen. And here is my pal, Shelly, my stuffed doggy. She's going to be part of our show today. And we're cooking some goulash, an old-fashioned recipe that probably hasn't been made by a whole lot of you folks out there. So sit tight and sit back and relax and watch the show, and it'll begin momentarily. Shelly, what are we doing today? Well, we're having some water boil for elbow macaroni right now. And there is our pot of water boiling on this one-eyed stove, donated by one of our viewers and one of our subscribers. Thank you to everyone who has supplied me with my supplies, and all you subscribers out there mean the most to me, and I appreciate all of you so gladly, and I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea. From above my heart, I thank you so much for everything all you subscribers and viewers have donated to me to make this channel possible. Hopefully you grab your drink of choice today, sit back and relax, and cheers to you, everybody. Today I have a watermelon probiotic soda. And I'm going to take a moment to sit here, and I'm going to thank a very important sponsor today. And today's episode is sponsored by Coleman. Coleman has a range of all kinds of outdoor stuff. Everything from outdoor blankets, to tents, to camping stoves, to sleeping bags. They have a whole line of outdoor accessories for your camping needs. Or if you're one of those van life people that are sleeping in your van, or you might be sleeping in a car, doing a truck camping time, they have your supplies that you need for that to make it all happen. Thank you, Coleman. And back to our regular scheduled program, folks. Now I'm just waiting for my water here to boil so we can put some Barilla elbow macaroni. And this is what we be using today in our old school goulash recipe. You folks in downtown who are my subscribers and my viewers that helped supply me with the stove and some pots and pans, you ladies know who you are out there. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you very much. You have no idea. Okay, so let's put Shelly down and let's begin everything that we need. Now, for today's recipe, you need 2 cans of tomato sauce, which I picked up last night when I went shopping. I went to my local Winco, which supplied everything I needed. You need 2 cans of diced tomatoes. You need black pepper. Of course, shredded cheese. And a diced up onion. Now, I bought pre-diced already because I really don't like onions if I can help it. They make me tear up, and I don't really care for that. And you're going to need some salt. And you need a little bit of minced garlic. You can either use fresh garlic cloves, or I like to buy pre-cut, pre-minced stuff that's already been sitting for a while because it gives the most flavor out of it. And you need just a little bit of Italian seasoning. And you're going to need about 2 pounds of ground beef. And that's my 2 pounds right there. And a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. That's a funny name of a sauce because everybody likes to make a lot of jokes about it. Because a lot of people can't really pronounce how it's actually sounded out. And to fry our ground beef in the frying pan, I have a very more healthy option of avocado cooking oil spray. I like the avocado cooking spray because it's healthier and it doesn't have all the chemicals that like rare Pam does, for example. And so to me, it also makes the meat flavor just a little bit too. So that's why I prefer using it. So we're just still waiting our water to boil for our noodles. As soon as it gets to boiling, we're going to stick our elbow macaroni in the pot. Cheers to you, folks. Watermelon flavored probiotic sodas. A new and healthy way when talking about sodas with not so much sugar, not so much added preservatives. And this is actually the most healthiest things I have ever tasted. This is made by a company called Poppy. Poppy has all different varieties of flavors out there. You can find them at your local Walmarts, Winco, a little bit of each retailer out there. It's a new soda that everybody has. And it's most healthiest if you want to consume sodas on a daily. This one only has about 30 calories and it doesn't have any sodium. And if you're worried about sugar, you can look at your list of ingredients and amounts of different stuff. This is really great, folks. I recommend this to each and every one of you. So get on down to your local store, ask them for the Poppy, and they'll tell you right where to find it. And bring it home, let it chill in like a freezer to get most cold is best, because that's what I do. And then crack it open after it gets ice cold in the freezer, and then enjoy. Sorry for the wait, folks, and because this one I burned doesn't do a whole lot, but it's working, it's getting there. And hopefully, wherever you may be watching from, hopefully your weather's nice, but if it's not, if you're one of the people back in the East Coast area and you're having those ice and snowstorms, please hunker down, stay warm, be safe, and let us all know that you're safe out there. And if you're one of my viewers out in the East Coast, I wish you well and wish you the best. Hopefully you're having something delicious tonight. I know I'm about to. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the equipment I'm using. I have a Coleman one-eyed burner stove, and then I have a lot of Farberware cooking stuff that I use, especially my spatula. It's a Farberware piece, very, very strong. Spoon, also Farberware. And then I have a set of Farberware measuring cups, which we'll be using in today's recipe. Measuring spoons, also farberware, be using also those in tonight's recipe. This too is a deep farberware pan. Now I like farberware. I use their line of stuff a lot. They too are also a sponsor, and we're also looking, folks, to sign on with a lot of other sponsors out there. So we've got a lot of exciting things getting ready to happen here. So please, if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, share, like, and comment. Share with everybody that you know out there, and recommend my channel called The Little Kitchen, because these guys and a lot of my other stuffed animals will be a lot of my audience. There'll be more coming out. Cheers, everybody. What do you say, Shelly? Folks, please give this lady subscribes. Give this lady more viewers. Let's work on to 500 by the end of the year. We very much appreciate it. Well, in my neck of the woods, I live in California, folks. And I'm always outside my home, and I'm constantly making these videos for you folks. And I hope to one day soon be traveling around in a nice vehicle, making more videos and more content for you guys all around the areas, in different parts of the woods, in different cities, different towns, parks, rivers, and other nice places. Maybe we find a field out in the middle of nowhere somewhere with a road in it. Who knows? Who knows? Anything's possible, folks. If all you subscribers of mine out there keep watching and making this channel happen, we can make this grow and make it into something big, and we can help each other. If you start a YouTube channel, then I would most definitely follow you, and I've subscribed to your channel. And maybe some of you out there already do have a channel. I know I watch a lot, and I subscribe to a lot of van lifers, truck lifers, car people, and people who truck camp and stuff like that. And you all know who you are. And especially I want to give a shout out to those of you up in Canada. Canada right now I know is going through a lot of cold weather. Minus 30, minus 40. That's some cold weather up there, folks. Stay warm and stay on those roads. And we will be back as soon as this water starts to boil, and let's put the macaroni in the water. Welcome back, folks, and we're ready. Our water is now boiling. Now, we're going to take our 1 pound of elbow macaroni and stick it in the water. So we're going to let that boil, and we're going to let it get soft. Not too soggy, because you don't want your noodles falling apart. If you overcook it, it turns bad, and you don't really want that. So I'm going to stir this right here. Now we're going to take our lid and we're going to cover that. We're going to let that simmer for a while and let it get nice and tender. Now, let's begin to mash up our meat. Now, I have some ground beef here, about 2 pounds, and I'm going to put it in my deep frying pan. It's about 85% lean ground beef. Now, you can use 95, you can use 75% lean ground beef, but the option's all yours. So I'm just kind of cutting it all up. Put back in our bowl, because I forgot one crucial mistake, and I shouldn't have, folks, because I'm supposed to be an inspiration to you. So we're gonna spray our pan down with that avocado cooking spray as I mentioned earlier. Let's turn our heat down on this water because we just had it boiling over, which you don't really want. Now we can put our meat back in our pan. And I'm going to take about 2 teaspoons of salt, which I use iodized sea salt. So I'm going to take about 2 teaspoons of that. So let's find our teaspoon. Here I have my teaspoon. Now, I'm going to still continue to pre-season our meat, because I like when the flavors match together in my food. I don't know about you folks, but we're going to use some ground pepper. And this is Kirkland brand, which you can find at your local Costco if you do have one where you live. So we're going to take the top off. And we're going to go with a half. So So here is our half a teaspoon. So I have my half a teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, so now we have our black pepper. And then now we're going to go with 1.5 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. So here is our tablespoon. And I use, again, different brands of different seasonings. This one you can pick up at your local Smart and Final if you have one where you live. It's called First Street. So we're going to go 1.5 of that. Okay, so there is our Italian seasoning. And then we need Worcestershire sauce. And I picked mine up from great value from my local Walmart. You can too if you have one where you live. So let's go. And let's find. We need 1 tablespoon. So let's take our 1 tablespoon. And I put the Worcestershire sauce in my meat with all the other ingredients. And this is how it's starting to look. And then next we need minced garlic, which I picked up at my local Sam's Club. I like shopping at all different retailers, giving them all business. That is Members Mark, which belongs to Sam's. So it says 3 cloves of garlic minced. So you want about maybe 2 tablespoons. So we're going to reach in there and grab 2 tablespoons. And put just a little bit of juice in there as well.
Hi, Crystal.
Hi. Hold on, folks. We'll be right back. And I'm back, folks. I just checked our elbow macaroni, and it's looking pretty tender here. What do you say, Shelly? Ooh, folks, this stuff is looking so super good. Delicious. I can't wait to try it. There you have it, folks. You heard Shelly's approval. As soon as these noodles get done, I'm going to run them inside and I'm going to drain the water out, and then we'll start to assemble our goulash. Now, if you want to make sure that they're just tender enough for you, you can take 1 or 2 out and try them. So I pulled out 2. And that is done, folks. So we'll be right back. We're back, folks. I just went inside and drained my elbow macaroni. And so now we're we're going to fry our ground beef with all the ingredients that I used. Doesn't that look good, folks? Okay, so now we're just gonna brown the ground beef up. Once ground beef is brown, we're gonna stick that into our noodles. Let's keep the noodles covered so it stays warm. We don't need cold noodles, folks. So after we get done there, we're going to stick our tomato sauce in there. And actually, if we really want to, we can start assembling everything now. Which, I think, time-wise, it's getting dark here. I'm going to cut this short a different way, and we're going to stick all of our canned stuff together in there. So that way, when the ground beef is done, all we gotta do is shove it in there. So, here is my lid top. And I'm going to take my diced tomatoes with some more Italian seasoning, which they were flavored in the can, and we're just going to dump them in there. Need this second, folks. Here's my second can of diced tomatoes. As soon as I'm done here, we'll have to get Shelly's approval, folks. And I already know what Shelly's gonna say. There's one can of tomato sauce, and here's our second can of tomato sauce. Okay, folks, here's the mixture so far. Take our spoon from Farberware. Thank you, Farberware Company, for making this video possible with my cooking utensils. We're going to give that a good stir. Second, we're going to add a cup of finely shredded cheese. Now I have just a little cheapo measuring cup that I bought at my local Walmart. I don't want to have glass stuff to break on the outside. That wouldn't be very nice, would it? And measure out a cup. Alright, we're sitting right at a cup, folks. We're gonna dump that in there. We're gonna mix that all up. Okay, here's what my mixture looks like so far mixed up. Turn the camera around, and we're gonna go back for our ground beef. There is our ground beef as it's starting to brown. And we're going to just mix this up again and turn it, because you don't want to have it burn on one side and still pink on the other side, folks. Pink meat doesn't end well. Can result in several different kinds of sicknesses. And the biggest one being E. coli. We don't want that poison, do we, folks? That would ruin your life. Make you very, very sick. You want to make sure that ground beef is evenly browned. Hopefully you're enjoying your night or your afternoon. Depends on what part of the world you're in. Because if you're out of country and you're in one of those countries that's earlier than the United States, hopefully you're having a good morning or a good afternoon. Hopefully you're even staying warm if you're in the cold parts of the countries. And speaking of weather, I was out last night running around and I happened to hear the weather broadcast over the radio. And for you folks in Australia, let me tell you, wow, I feel bad for you folks, because I hear it's 110 plus right now. It's summertime over there. 110 degrees? No thank you. Here, it's roughly about 58 degrees in California right now, in Sacramento. And it could be colder, because like Central Valley area, you're dealing with a lot of fog right now. And I just heard last night on TV that there was a 60-car pileup on Highway 99 in the Central Valley. And my heart goes out to you folks. I'm praying for you. And if you're one of the family members of the people who got in the accidents, I'm praying for you folks too. I hope the best for your family members if they were involved in the accident. Or if you're one of those people that were also dealing with the 49 car pileup just last week out there in the Central Valley of California. My heart goes out to you and your loved ones, and I hope that they make a full recovery and you're helping them to recover and heal. And for those who have a severe injury, I deal with back injuries and stuff myself. I have 3 different permanent back injuries that I was dealt with a work injury. No thanks to Burger King. But I've been in a couple car accidents myself, and I know how it feels, folks. Trust me, I do. Okay, so now that our meat is mostly brown, we're gonna give it just a couple more minutes, and we're getting ready to stick it in the pasta. There is the meat. So let's give it just a little bit longer. that smells so good, folks. I wish they had smell-o-vision. Because wherever you're at, I wish that you could definitely smell this meat. It smells amazing, folks. And it looks amazing. Wow. That's gonna be some great goulash, really. Woo! And thank you, Farberware, again for my cooking utensils. I'm using my big giant spatula to turn the meat. And let's get Shelly back out. Oh, folks, I'm gonna take a sniff at this. And I hope it smells amazing like I think it is. Oh, yummy. It smells delicious, folks. It looks delicious, too. Thanks, Shelly. And what do you think of the noodle mixture, Shelly? Oh, boy. That looks amazing, folks. It smells amazing, too. Folks, you just wait until this is fully done. This goulash is going to be some amazing food. Thanks, Shelly. Okay. So now we're gonna bring our noodle mixture back because now our ground beef is done. I'm gonna lift this off of the burner, and we're gonna bring back our noodle mixture. Now we're gonna add our meat mixture. Oh my gosh, folks. Oh, this smells amazing, folks. It really, really does. I'm filming this in real time, folks, and you're gonna get this video tonight, or wherever you may be. You'll get it in the very same day. Now I'm gonna add just a little bit more Worcestershire sauce. And one of the last ingredients, because you don't want to flavor it too strong, is you want to take your onion, this is a whole onion diced already. That's breaking the seal, folks, to ensure freshness. Now, making a little bit of messes here, folks. That's not good. But a good chef always keeps his kitchen clean, or her kitchen clean, whoever you may be. And speaking of chefs, folks, I want to tell you something. I had found out a while back that in the early part of the United States, when the Titanic was around, I had two famous family cooks and bakers on the Titanic who actually worked on there. they sank with it and died in the ship. And rest in peace their souls. But chef-free, being a chef, cooking and baking comes naturally in my genes because of my family that was working as chefs and bakers on Titanic.
Now let's turn up the heat a little bit.
Oh, folks, this looks amazing. Look at that. And this smells amazing too. Wish all you folks could be here to share this with me. And I'm gonna say wow right now. And we're just letting it really heat and simmer those onions and finish getting the rest of the flavors together. But that is how you make old-fashioned goulash. Now, goulash is just one of those old recipes. I don't know if a lot of you really even know about this recipe because you're either too young or maybe your family members make it because they're older family that's been around for generations. But this is just a so simple recipe that is delicious and great for winter times, and you could share the meal with your whole entire family, and if you have the recipe, you can pass it on. Now we're going to let that simmer just for a minute, and that'll be ready to serve up. So at this point, folks, me and Shelly here are going to wish you a happy rest of your weekend and have a great week. If we don't see you for a minute, which we hope to bring back some other recipes for the next couple of days, stay tuned, folks. And that is it. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate each and every one of you and for the support you've given us, and we're thankful that you joined us today for this really delicious goulash recipe, and we'll catch you right back here on another episode of The Little's Kitchen. Bye, folks.